One of the things that I would say was missing during my PhD, and I learned that I would say in the last stages of the PhD process, was this lack of structure that I had and lack of control that I had over my time, my to-do list, and my work. And this is what more or less my day-to-day looked like. So I had zero structure, everything felt urgent, that was probably the worst thing, and I was like so unconscious. I was always in a rush, like I was always rushing through stuff. And of course that led to mistakes, that led to many bad things, but it actually led to one good thing, and that is developing this ability of structuring your work so that you can allow for creative time. And I've seen this also with my clients, where they are, when we start working on something that they are doing, for example, writing some proposals or writing some applications or some forms, filling in some forms for some applications, some funding application and so on, or even some promotions. When we start working, I always ask them like, how much time have you already dedicated to that? And they usually say, oh, it took me, I don't know, I've been working on this for several months or several weeks and so on. And then when we come to the thing and look at it, like look at that proposal, look at that presentation, that pitch and so on, there is barely anything written, because they say, yeah, but because then I got distracted because there was this other work thing that happened and so on. And I always tell them, like, this is so relatable. Like, I literally know how you're feeling, because I was feeling like that 99% of the time during my PhD. I was always putting off fires. I was always reacting to stuff instead of really acting upon it. And this has a huge impact on your project, and then consequently on your communication. Because when I ask them, like, how is the project going? Is this just a proposal thing, just a pitch thing, or is this a project thing? In 100% of the time, they always tell me it is absolutely a project thing. Like a project that is all over the place, that they don't really know where they're going, they're not really sure how to put it all together, what is the purpose of it. And I always say, like, this, because of this, you have trouble with communicating, you have trouble with putting it all together, because you do not have this basic structure that needs to sustain what comes next. And now that I explained all of that to you, I want to tell you, what can one do about it? Like, the best advice that I could give you is that you should bring structure to your main project as soon as possible. And when I say bring structure, what does that mean? That means that you know when is which thing happening. For example, you know that you have some analysis to do, you have some experiments, then you have some analysis, then you have to write about that. I want you to really think about, how can I make a plan, but not only plan the thing, like, oh, on Monday I'm going to do this and on Tuesday I'm going to do that. Go into the thing, like structure the thing. How is this experiment going to look like? What am I going to use? Which steps I'm going to go through? Which analysis am I going to use? Which tests am I going to use? All of those things are actually the things that are saving you time and making sure that you have this mental space for your creativity. Because whether it is with research or work in general, or even writing or presenting, communicating, which is probably one of the last stages of the entire process, the thing with that is that you have to make sure that it has some structure, that you know when you're writing, you need to know what you are going to write about. Otherwise, your writing session is going to be pure procrastination, and basically it's not going to feel as fulfilling, because you're not going to meet your expectations. Because if you say in 3 hours I'm going to write, 10 paragraphs, and then you write only 2, chances are the problem isn't the writing itself, is what is the thinking about the writing. Because you came into the writing, you entered the writing phase without knowing what should be written, what should you write about, which paragraph should consist of, what are the figures that should be covered in each paragraph, and so on. So this is my bottom line, and this is something that I was doing during my PhD that helped me a lot. After I realized that I couldn't just continue putting off fires, and it really transformed the way I was doing research and the way I was then explaining my work to others. Because not only it saved time, it brought me this instant clarity that I was missing the first time around. Like, what am I doing? How am I going to put it all together? And what is this step-by-step process that I need to follow in order to reach that specific conclusion or that specific goal? So having said that, this is exactly what I help STEM professionals do with their work, with their projects, and with their communication. I help you bring structure to the chaos. If you don't know where to start from, if you feel that your project is halfway there, half finished, and still sitting on your desk, going nowhere, moving from one to-do list to the other, and so on. If you're feeling that your thesis is taking you forever, but when you objectively look at it, you see that you haven't been actively working on it for that much time as you were thinking, all of those things are something that I can help you with, and I will leave a link for a completely free coaching call with me where we can discuss all of those struggles, all of those challenges, and all of those issues that you're facing to see how I can help you and how we can make the best possible plan and structure for you. So I hope you found this video useful, that you will take some time before you do the writing, before you do the task, to take some time to analyze what the task actually consists of, and I will guarantee you that you will see instant progress right away. Thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, see you in the next few days with another video. Bye bye.